Hi folks, Tim here, and welcome back to Elmendorf Acres. So today we're just running around doing some odd jobs. Our first project of the day was to take the dump trailer down to the dump and get rid of a few couches, along with a chair and a love seat and just some other stuff from somebody's garage. We had an older lady who's going to be moving out of the house and asked us to just get rid of everything so she doesn't have to move it. So we picked that stuff up for her yesterday afternoon. Again, yesterday was just a busy work type of day where we just did a bunch of small projects, got a couple things done around the yard, split some firewood, cut some trees, burned some of the brush that's been sitting around because it was raining yesterday. So we did that. We picked up her stuff for the dump, also picked up garbage at two other houses. So that's the type of thing that we'll do during the winter when there's not a lot of snow. And this year there's certainly not been a lot of snow. They are calling for some sort of a mixed precipitation later today. So we'll have to kind of monitor that weather and see what it looks like, whether it turns out to be some snow or some ice, some sleet, some rain. And then I've got to look at my temperatures for tonight to see, you know, if it is rain but then we get a freeze, do we have to deal with salting parking lots and things like that. So that's the plan for today. Now that I've got an empty dump trailer, I'm actually on my way down to the quarry, and we're going to grab a little bit of stone for the property. So I can only fit 5 tons on this trailer legally, so we're going to haul 5 back, but we've been kicking up a lot of mud at the property, so I want to just put a real thin coat on a little bit of our road just to try to help keep some of that mud down. You know, there's no frost in the ground. If there was frost in the ground, we wouldn't be kicking up any mud. But this is just a wacky winter with no snow, and I think we had frost in the ground for about a 2.5 week period this year. So really, really tough winter as far as what our average winters used to be or what they've been in the past. Now, talking to some of the old guys, there were winters like this at some point. So not necessarily the new normal, but the last couple winters have been a lot more like this, with a lot more ice and ice storms and a lot less snow type storms. So we've been learning our way around that, but that's the plan for today. Like I said, we did a dump run first thing. I dropped Owen back off at the house. He's going to be splitting some firewood to fill a tote for my house for next year. Had those couple hickories that we took down at the house, and the logs went to the lumber yard, so they bought the better parts of the hickory logs, and then we filled one tote with the tops already, and we're going to fill probably another 1/2 to 3/4 of a tote with some of the cutoffs and what was left. So that'll be wrapped and then set up to the property and will be used at my house next year. And we use those totes because I can take them and set them straight on my porch without it being an issue. I use the tractor, pick it right up, set it right there, and it saves me a lot of time stacking firewood. So that's what we're doing with that. And I'm just getting ready to pull into Tetta's here. One of our favorite little stores that's right here in Samsonville. We're pulling into Tetta's, and I gotta get gas. Or their pumps are open enough to where I can have my trailer on and pull through, so that's really nice. But we're just pulling up to the pumps now, so I'm going to refill my truck. I don't usually like to let it get below half, and it's just below half at this point. So one of the things with living in the country, you want to make sure you've always got gas. All right, well, now the truck is full, which is always good going into a snowstorm or whatever weather may occur here over the next day. At least for us in a more rural town, you know, this is the only gas station that's within 15 minutes of the house. And they close down now during the winter. I think the winter hours are from 7 to 7 or something like that. So I like to make sure that I got a full tank. That way, if there's an emergency, I'm ready to go, especially being with the fire department and there's a snowstorm coming, or some sort of foul weather coming. I like to make sure we're ready to go. But that's our, I would say, almost daily stop at Tetta's. This time of year, not quite as often. During the summer, we are there every day, either filling up the mowers or the trucks. So they're a good group of people there. We have, I'm trying to remember who was there today. Primo was floating around. He's the boss man there. And Rich was there, and Sabrina was there, and Ashley was working behind the counter as well. And usually Dakota's floating around, and Tom, and Andrew as well. So hello to all my friends at Tetta's. Love your store. Love what you guys do for the town. And they've been great. They've supported different fundraisers for the fire department, along with other non-for-profits in the town. They did a community day last year, and a certain amount, if not all of the proceeds from that, were donated to different groups in the town, the fire department, the rescue squad, things like that. So just a great place that's community oriented, and we like to go there and support that. It's very important to us to be community oriented. You know, we do the same thing. We will support a lot of local places, and when we're approached by different non-for-profits, we will, if we can, make some sort of donation, whether it's sponsor a fundraiser or, you know, donate something for their blind bid that they do at different events. But local businesses are very, very important to a small town. So thank you, Tetta's Market and Pizza, for what you do. If you are in the Samsonville area, stop by, get a coffee, get an egg sandwich, get lunch sandwich. They've got boar's head meats there. They make a slamming sandwich, real good. Pizza's really good, calzones are good, and the wings are good. So from the time they open till the time they close, the food is good. And we don't go there for food a whole lot, just because feeding a whole family, it gets a little expensive, but when we do, we've never been disappointed. So good job to you folks. And just as a reminder to anybody watching, no, we are not paid for the promotion at all. We just like to give credit where credit is due.